Family, let me tell y'all something, man. There is no victory in victimhood. And what I mean by this is there's four things that I notice people in this day and age, especially our young people, do which sets them up for failure. Number one is the lack of accountability when it comes to personal choices. Number two is the belief that the world owes them something. They deserve something just because they exist. Number three is the take me as I am mentality. Like the world just has to accept them in the state that they're currently in, and they are the sun, and everything is supposed to revolve around them. And number four, last but not least, is people wanting a result without putting in the work. First of all, is lack of accountability. A lot of people, men and women, make poor choices. And you have the right to your choices, you just don't have the right to your own consequences. And when you make these choices, they stick with you. If you're a man or a woman and you have four children by three different women, or a woman who's got four kids by three different men and none of them are with you, that means you have bad discernment skills. You make bad choices and you have to be accountable for that. If you're a person who wants to get a brand new Mercedes Benz, but you have a 520 FICO score, that means your history shows that you don't pay your bills. Old football coach said the wisest line I ever heard. Simple and plain. You are what your record says you are. The second area of victimhood is the belief that the world owes you something. I hear all this talk about people saying, I want a good person. I want a person who's got money, this, that, and the third. They got to be this height. They got to have this kind of car. They got to. What do you think it is that you can reciprocate that makes you think you deserve that kind of person? If you don't have anything similar going on, if there's nothing you can contribute, then you are not entitled to that. And you have to do the work to make yourself a prospect for that. So the concept that the world owes you something just because you exist is one of the worst areas of victimhood that people live in when things don't go the way they want them to go. Third thing would be people wanting a result, but not willing to put the work in to get that result. Whether it's physically, whether it's mentally or emotionally. You want your body to look good, but you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to eat right. It's not going to work. There's going to be a sacrifice that needs to be made there. You want a good relationship, but you have all kinds of trauma. You have this my way or the highway attitude, and you're a rude person to be around. It's not going to work. Emotionally, if you haven't gone to talk to somebody and you've been through trauma and relationship issues and you haven't taken the time to work on making yourself balanced, but you still feel you're entitled to a relationship, you're probably going to wreck somebody else. So the whole looking for a result without putting the work in is another area of victimhood. See, there's two kinds of people. There's people that make things happen, and then there's people that let things happen to them. And the first step to not being a victim is to realize what kind of person you are. And if you're the latter, you need to change that. And last but not least is the take me as I am mindset. This is the belief that, you don't have to make any changes in the way you move, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk through this world. Everybody else has to change or adapt to you. And let me tell you something. The men or women that you're interested in don't want a project. They don't want somebody that they got to come in and fix up from their previous relationship damage. They don't want somebody that's morbidly obese that doesn't care about their body. They don't want somebody who's got stinking thinking, a negative attitude, who's always finding something to complain about, always telling you what they ain't going to do rather than what they can do, and has nothing to reciprocate but maybe some good looks. And half of them ain't even got that. So the take me as I am mindset is last but definitely not least. So just to bring it back so you understand it in full, it's lack of accountability. It's the belief that the world owes you something just for living, the entitlement mindset, the person who is looking for the result without putting in any of the work, and the take me as I am person. These are all symptoms of the people who find victory in victimhood, and it ain't there.